What's up, YouTube? I'm doing this video again because the first time I recorded 2 videos and both of them the audio is trash, corrupted. It sounded like somebody was hacking me while I was recording. So if I end up skipping through this or something, or not skipping through it, if I end up going a little too fast and something like that, or not feeling it, not looking interested, it's a it's a really good video, really good topic, but I recorded it and tried to replay it, looked at the recording and realized it was ass as hell. It was messed up. So hopefully I know me so well, or I am myself so much that I repeat exactly what I was saying throughout this video, but I can't make no promises. But I hope you still like the video and everything. So if this is your first time seeing my face, I'm lllucyd, lllucyd, social right here, Instagram, and others on the side right there. And more are in the description. Also, I am part of Gen Z. So in this video, we're going to be talking about how Gen Z might be the first homeless generation by the way of Cam. And I don't know, I can't say he's wrong, but it's going to be very extreme. We get all the way to homelessness. But a lot of people are still living at home. Hence, your boy. At one point in my life, I was on top of the world, living by myself and stuff like that. But, you know, I'm not in a bad place. I'll tell you that much right now. Like, nigga still living good. House is great. Even like this guy's house right here. Like, at first in the recording, I said something about it looked like I thought he was living by himself, but it looked like he lived like in a nice apartment. Like, cause these walls are way too clean. Like, they just look so clean. Not the room. And this nigga got baskets and shit everywhere, but closet open. But like this setup, like TVs just on the wall, no pictures or nothing like that. Like he just got an apartment and stuff. Lots of lotion in the back. I don't know what that's about, but yeah, I thought he was. And then he had another setup somewhere else. But anyways, yeah, we're gonna be talking about how Gen Z might be the next generation, or might just become very, very, very homeless. Cause like many are saying, a lot of people at a certain age back in the day would be living by themselves. They're living now at home. So yeah. We're gonna get into this conversation and, you know, talk more about this. Hopefully we can come to a solution. Hopefully, but let's get into it. I'm gonna stop this recording right now. I'm gonna stop this recording right now to see if this shit acting stupid and get back to it. So this was just the intro. All right, everything seems to be going all right. So let's get into it.
Gen Z is about to be the first homeless generation of all time, bro. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like, I just seen a statistic that said 50% of all young adults under the age of 30 is living with their parents, bro. And I know that includes people that's going to college and things of that nature. But if you really think about it, bro, that also extends to people that's no longer in college. And let me tell you why. It's because the average life of a 20-something-year-old, like if you in your 20s, this is how things are about to go for you, bro. And if you've never heard this before, bro, I'm about to put you on game. You go to college for 4 years. You get you a degree. And honestly, it don't matter what degree. It could be a Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Sciences. It could be a STEM field. It could be a liberal arts degree. It does not matter. It doesn't matter. You get out of college. You try to hit a home run in the job market. Boom. You're hit with the reality that you can put in 100,000 applications. And it's not even that you get an interview and then you just get into. You're not even getting an interview, bro. You're not.
What I will say, I think I paused it exactly this time, last video, but before, you know, I know some people, this was a tip that I gave to say, you know, people who are in college, is from people I've seen in college and have gotten out to get a job. One thing you could do, not saying this definitively or like this is going to guarantee you get a job or have a job out of college, but internships. If you work with a company and stuff like that, even though I know some internships they don't want to pay you, but hopefully you find one where they want to pay you. But internships, you find a job that wants to pay you, even if they're paying you a little bit. Work with them, and hopefully by the time you get out of college, they still want to hire you for your work ethic or whatever the hell. Maybe you just, you know, they just like you or something like that, and you have a job right out of college. Just a tip for anybody in there, just saying that could help. You know, out of the 1% of people that's getting a job out of college, maybe you could be that 1%. Maybe that, you know, up your odds for that. So yeah.
Even getting an interview. because you shortly realize that you are in a job market like never before. You are in a job market competing with hundreds of thousands of other kids your age, bro, right? And then here you are trying to figure it out. Your parents is yelling at you because you live in with them, and they like, you need to get you a job. Yo, your generation is lazy. They love to say that. They love to say how lazy the young generation is. Like they didn't have a part in raising us. Like boomers didn't raise us. Gen X didn't raise us. You guys are lazy. Brother, what? But anyway, that's besides the point. You apply to like thousands and thousands of jobs. You maybe land one, possibly two interviews if you're lucky, right? And let's just be optimistic. Let's go the good route. Let's say you land a job. This job is genuinely the worst experience you have ever had. You get there, your manager sucks, coworker sucks, but it's okay because you gotta start your career somewhere. Everyone starts from the bottom somewhere.
What I will say, even what my manager says, he says the reason people leave a job most of the time is because of bad managers or asshole managers or bad coworkers. When I tell you those are the top two reasons left every job I've been at. Manager was on my ass about something, or the coworkers were ass as fuck. So yeah.
And
surprisingly, was never the pay, but I was young, so I'm not thinking about the pay. I wouldn't think about the pay too much. Plus, I was making money doing other shit.
Slowly start to realize the politics behind this. You slowly start to realize there is no movement. There is no upward movement. There is no company loyalty. They will axe you in a heartbeat, in a second. There is no, oh, you did well. A promotion is coming. No, they're going to exploit you for your resources, right? Especially nowadays because AI can do 80% of this shit. And that's what they're doing. They're axing a lot of these high-level, white-collar positions because they know that AI can just replace them and do the same thing, right? So your job is already in jeopardy. So you start to realize like, holy, this is the worst work environment I've ever worked in, right? I can't stand these people. It's corporate, it's fake, whatever, okay? And then what ends up happening is you're like, I gotta work somewhere better. This can't be life. There's no way. I'm 20 something. There's no way they want me to work for 40 more years being this unhappy, right? So what do? You decide to go and get a master's so that you can delay being a bum for a few more years. You get your master's, you get out of school, job market's even worse. You thought it was gonna get better. It's gotten even worse. You have your master's, you're trying to make ends meet. You'd apply to McDonald's and then you get rejected. You get rejected from McDonald's with a master's degree because you don't have the proper work experience.
Now, also what people try to do, they try to go for side hustles. I think I said this in my last recording, but I'm probably not going to say everything verbatim. But going for side hustles and stuff like that, they either go too deep into the side hustle and try to do only that instead of going like trying to find jobs and stuff like that. Like, cause what I've always did, no matter what side hustle I had or what I was doing, I always had a job. Whether I was this first time, I was working full time at one point, and then I stopped working full time. But I've always had at least part time at the job and stuff like that, just so you have multiple streams of income. And it wasn't even that. It was just more like, I wouldn't even think about multiple streams of income. It was mostly like, at least this is coming in and I still have my stuff on the side just in case when that be drying up and stuff like that and I ain't getting too many customers or people that ain't paying for too much, I still got the job and stuff like that. So, but still, some people try to go into a side hustle, try to become an entrepreneur off the rip or start doing influence and shit like that. It's like, yeah, but try to find something. I think I said something else. I know I talked about advertising, but I'll let him keep going.
Do you see how fucked up this whole system is, bro? Because what I just described, like, I just described somebody's reality. Somebody watching this video, I just described your reality, bro. And that's the best possible outcome. At least you got a position at some point. You had your foot in the door and just realized, yo, this shit definitely just ain't worth it. The juice ain't worth the squeeze. Never has been, never will be. Right? And yet they say Gen Z is lazy. This generation is lazy. Young people are lazy. That's been such a blanket statement for fucking years. They were saying that when the millennials was coming up. The truth of the matter is that entry-level jobs are no longer entry-level, right? because these companies do not value human beings. They don't value you. What they value is money, right? They don't want to hire new grads because they know that if they hire new grads, they're going to have to pour resources into training them. They're going to have to pour resources into getting them up to speed. They're going to have to bring them into their ecosystem. But people are very change averse. They don't want to change shit around. They want to keep the same people around, right? They don't want to have to bring in somebody new.
Which don't make sense, because when you want to like groom somebody to, well, Gen Z now, we realize, and it might be because of the companies now, but we realize that you shouldn't stay at a job for too long. Because at first it was like stay at a job and then, you grow with the company. But you would think not a company would want to groom you into being somebody better for them and keep you around if you keep the company good and stuff like that. If you, have a good relationship with the company. So instead of having to hire somebody new all the time. But if they, how you were saying, take all the resources from you and you just keep you there if you're a worker bee and stuff like that, then, it's better for them on the money. And plus I hear all the time, because I think I said this in the last video, last recording that got corrupted. They hire supervisors faster. They hire and fire supervisors faster than they do like the people who doing like the real hand work and stuff like that. I don't know why. Maybe because the supervisors aren't really doing work anyway. So it kind of makes sense. But yeah, CEOs don't really care. Like as long as the money coming in, they'll just fire and hire anybody maybe.
They don't want to bring in new ideas because somebody might come in and say, hey, let's actually give a fuck about what we're doing rather than just trying to chase money, right? They don't want to. They like being in their comfortable little cubicle just doing the same shit every fucking morning. So no, they're not going to hire you, bro. I'm sorry, bro. You're just not getting hired nowhere. And
I think I was saying also that the only way for it to change, like for them not to be in a comfortable zone or comfort zone, is if their kids become the CEOs and stuff like that, and then they start seeing like they've seen what's going on with Gen Z, and they start hiring, the younger people or other people, and not keeping it the same, and actually caring about the jobs and stuff like that, or the company, or then maybe they could not, because if the kids are having a good life and they're not really experiencing the stuff all the most Gen Zs are, it's like, why would I change the company and stuff like that? I'm living good. I'm living great. Maybe we should keep it like this so I can keep my money, so I can stay as a trust fund, baby.
Understand that these companies all use the same shared AI systems, bro. The ATS, it's not just one company that you got rejected from. Did you know this? When you put your resume in the system, you're actually getting rejected from thousands of companies at the same time. They all use the same system and they can see that shit. And guess what? These hiring managers, right? I mean, is a hiring manager even real? That shit is like a fucking unicorn. You meet these hiring managers and they'll always come up with these scenarios and stories about you and not even knowing who you are. Gen Z is lazy. These hiring managers are genuinely in their 50s, 60s, 70s, bro. And they were living in a completely different time, extremely out of touch with reality. They think that, oh, well, if you just put together a good resume and give them a good fucking firm handshake, how about you handshake these nuts, nigga? How about that? Handshake these motherfucking nuts. Because there are thousands of qualified applicants. I have applied to jobs that I am well overqualified for. Well overqualified. Guess what I hear? We are no longer hiring for this position. It's because 90% of these jobs are just ghost jobs. They're not hiring. They're actively trying to cut back because these companies are struggling too. They can't pay you. These niggas is broke. They're not trying to pay nobody. They're not trying to pour more resources, bro. They trying to lay more people off. They cutting people off. So what they do is they put out these ghost jobs to signal.
I think I remember something. Yeah. So for them not being, so the company's being broke. What I would say, like even now, since a lot of places definitely going broke, because I've been seeing goddamn Ferrari ads. I ain't never seen a Ferrari ad. I seen that bitch on YouTube. I'm like, who the fuck is buying something on YouTube? A Ferrari who does YouTube? But then I think, shit, all the YouTubers do be having money now and stuff like that, like, cause YouTube pays so well, so maybe they could. But also, it's not even worth trying to be in the companies and stuff like that, because A lot of influencers and stuff could make more, or just people in general can make more from being sponsored. So if everybody's having competition, if nobody's buying anything, it doesn't make sense to try to sell to people, which doesn't make sense. But if you can be the person that, well, what are people doing? Building your following on Instagram, YouTube, wherever the heck, and then since they want to, do all these ads and stuff, you can be the, get your money from selling them promotions, promote for them, and that's how you get your money instead of trying to make a different business to try to compete with the company because you can't get a job. Do shit like this and promote for certain people, stuff like that, and hopefully that's where your money come in, because it's ads everywhere. Like more and more companies are pushing money towards AI ads and just ads in general, just to promote something, trying to get people buying, even though nobody has the money to buy anything. Only people who has money to buy anything is the older people that are running these companies, or just has retirement money to sit on. So yeah, that's just the thought.
Like, oh, we're growing as a company. They ain't doing shit. Oh, our team. Fuck your team, bro. But anyways, what ends up happening is Gen Z gets all the blame, right? And this is why we really gonna be the first homeless generation, right? Because that's just, the job market is just one aspect of it, right? The economy is just one aspect of it, right? We know that the wages are not moving up with the goddamn with inflation, bro, right? We know everybody living at home. I ain't even gonna lie, my nigga. Everybody living at home, dog. You living at home, you feel bad. You feel like shit, probably, bro. And I get you, bro. I get you. Nobody want to be at home with their parents all the. Listen, I never thought I'd be living with my parents at age 25, but here I am. Bro. And here you are. Here we are in this shit together. And I'm gonna get to a possible solution in a second, but I just have to say this too. I actually just saw this TikTok, and this is the third reason why Gen Z is gonna be homeless. It go job market, economy, and housing, right? So I've seen somebody on TikTok, right? Obviously, it was an older woman, probably Gen X or a boomer. And she's trying to give advice on housing to young people, right? So this is what she fucking says. Get this. This is so funny. This is so hilarious. She said, okay, this is how you can get a house and make money off of that shit. She said, get a FHA loan, right? Now, FHA loan, you're going to have lower interest rates, lower down payment. I don't really know too much about it, right? I did like some very, very light research, but I know there's always a trade-off with anything. This is what you got to learn about life. Anything in life, if you get a loan or something like that, bro, financially, know that there's always a trade-off. Always. Low interest rates, you probably got some other shit going on. Like, it might be some other requirements, because there's also a low credit thing, so you can do it with low credit. So they're probably extremely predatory. In some way, they probably got some kind of rules, some kind of regulations, some kind of
I think I said about it before. I'm kind of remembering some stuff, but yes, it could be predatory, and yes, there can be a trade-off. But the richer you get, or the more wealthy, more money you make, and fame and status that you have, the more that shit is just given to you. Like, when you got high credit scores, man, you getting low interest rates for cars, houses, all that shit, loans out the wazoo, because people trust you, or your credit score just good, so they, it's trustworthy and stuff like that. So that's the thing. And then with the money, shit, you're paying more on credit cards and better establishments or whatever the hell, then you get more perks and stuff like that. And then like with the status and fame and stuff like that, you got people just giving you shit for free just because they want your business, just because of your face, so more people can bring you can bring in more people. Like I said, you're like a walking ad. So you doing ads for people, being sponsored, that opens more doors up for you, free doors, like doors you don't have to pay to get in. People just open a door for you, and so yeah. But with the low credit, you're not trustworthy and everything, so that's why it's a little bit more risky, which you still have to take risks, but not gonna get many perks by having low credit scores and stuff like that, which means you could be, they thinking you less trustworthy. And even your age, like with cars and shit, because I know I said this before on the recording y'all don't see, they be taxing out the ass for car rentals if you under 25, and that's because it's trust. I guess younger people will be fucking shit up trying to get the track hawk to rent for the weekend in Miami. But yeah, it's definitely a trade-off. But like the older you get, or like I said, the older, wealthier or richer, more money you make, and the status and fame, the less trade-offs it really is, the more you're just giving shit. But yeah, just not to make it too doom and gloom, a little other side of the realm and stuff like that.
Relations on there, I don't know, but there's nothing in life that they want to just give you for free and it's just easy. There's always some predatory shit. If it sounds too good to be true, probably is. But regardless, that aside, this lady said, get an FHA loan, right? And you can put $20,000 down on a house. That's $500K. Now, that alone is out of touch, because did you know that the average price of a house is like $600,000 nationwide? I live in a very expensive state. I live in Cali. If you're not willing to buying a house that's $700,000, you're cooked. That's the median house. That's the average house. The average house is like $700,000. Probably closer to $1 million these days, brother. Probably closer to $1 million. And don't even talk about the area you want to live in, because that's just houses in Cali in total. You want to go live in a hood? You want to go live in a hood? Bro, nobody want to go live in the hood.
And even in the hood, I think you're going to get to it. Kind of creepy, his eyes closed. But even in the hood, goddamn, they charging motherfuckers out the wazoo like $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 still for like some bullshit. It's like 2 bedrooms and a bathroom, or 2 bedrooms, 2 baths. Shit, might be one and a half bath. Like, it's just getting ridiculous nowadays. I mean, it's all because people are doing like what the TikTok he's seen. People are doing the same thing. But if everybody's trying to, you know, do the loop, which he's gonna talk about, do the loop of trying to turn everything to an Airbnb or like trying to flip a house, then nobody's gonna make a profit. Then shit's gonna keep skyrocketing because people trying to buy a house for somebody that was already trying to flip a house and then flip it even higher, which makes no goddamn sense. Nobody's trying to buy the goddamn house that's been flipped 500 times. It doesn't make sense. So yeah, and like he's gonna say, like people like BlackRock and stuff like that have been buying up houses. These big companies have been just buying up houses and just skyrocketing the rent.
Yeah, I can find a house for $200,000 if you want to live in Watts. You want to live in South Central LA. If you want to live on Hoover Street, and shit, probably that should probably even $500,000 at least. So, but put that aside, put that out of touchness aside, right? Because that's always what it is with these fucking boomers. That's always what it is with these fucking Gen X people, bro. Oh, you guys are late. They're always out of touch. But anyway, let's keep going. Right? Let's keep going. Put $20,000 down on this $500,000 house, right? What did they say? Basically, long story short, I don't even remember the whole shit. They were encouraging people to buy 2 properties, right? It was like, oh, you and your partner, whoop-de-whoop, whatever. Anyway, they were encouraging you to get 2 different properties, rent one out, right, as an Airbnb, right, and let that pay your real mortgage, okay? That's what it boiled down to. And the reason, and see, on the surface, it sounds like a great idea, but it's also an extremely selfish idea, which would be okay. But that's exactly why we have a fucking housing crisis right now. That's why can't nobody afford shit. It's because all of the houses have that exact strategy has already been done by the older generation. And that's why we have nowhere to fucking live. And that's why BlackRock was able to come in and buy up all the shit and jack up the prices. Every house is a goddamn Airbnb. Every house is owned by BlackRock or whatever, one of these fucking companies. Right? And so, and so what that means for us is that we have nowhere to live unless you are willing to put out an ungodly amount of money. An ungodly amount of money. Good God. Let's put aside the amount that a house usually is, right? Let's say that you were going to put $20,000 down, right? Where the fuck are you going to get $20,000 if you can't get hired? You gonna take out a loan to take out another loan? Because basically, I mean, that's what a mortgage is. You paying back this loan, right? That's why you work with the banks and shit. So you gonna take out a loan to put a down payment on it? You finna save up 20 bands? How you gonna save up 20 bands when you ain't get a job? How you gonna save up 20 bands when how sway? Right? So, and I mean, there are definitely ways to do it. I'm over exaggerating a little bit. You know, I save up your money, invest, right? But my point is that this shit is not as easy as these older generations make it seem. They trying to say we're lazy. That's just a blanket statement. That's a cover up for the fact that they fucked up the economy and don't want to take accountability for it. This whole shit is just completely crooked, out of whack. And the sad part about it is shit is never going back to how it was, bro. This is the new norm. This is the new reality. So as far as what we can do about this shit, I know that in the past I've said and other people have said like, oh, have a business on the side and all that type of shit, bro. At this point, my nigga, do what you can.
Nah, I still say have a business, but like I said before, try to get your following up on Instagram or find businesses that like, cause you don't want to do the same business that everybody is doing because you're gonna be competing with 100,000 people, and it's not that easy nowadays to just make a business because everybody's making a business like a snap of a finger with AI. So, and also the ideas are getting taken like faster and faster. Like back in the day, you can invent. It was so easy to invent anything because it wasn't many things. It wasn't many things around. Like it wasn't much technology. But now there's so much technology. It's kind of hard to think of anything that can make your life even easier or make a business even better and stuff like that. When you got AI and everything is already damn easy. But like I said, with the sponsors and stuff like that, if people want to just trying to do all these ads and get people buying stuff, you can find your way into promoting people's businesses and stuff like that. And so, like I said, getting the eyes of these promoters and stuff like, man, I just seen lllucyd doing a goddamn Expedia ad. Expedia. Only said that a few times because I was trying to say the word right. But an Expedia ad for traveling. Man, they out here got this man on a jet ski, dancing with robots. I'm telling you, the more fame and status you get, the more money you make, the shit gets easier to make more money. But this shit starts hard as hell. And that's where the grind comes in. So yeah, starting a business on the side, definitely you could do that. But I feel like the ads is where it's at because everybody's trying to make money off people. But if you get in that middle ground where you're taking money from the people that already have the money, who's trying to get to people who don't even have the money to get their money, you're getting that right, the in between. I'm not saying it's definitively, this is just an idea I have. But you getting that right in that in between marketing and stuff like that, because that's what everybody's going to. Getting that marketing department or getting that marketing, like, you know, sponsor type shit, promoting shit. You might see a lot of money coming your way. Just saying. That's what I think.
What can we do? Do what you can. And it's so crazy. I brought up this before, bro, but like they tell you when you're a kid, you could be anything you want to be. But it's no longer about what you want to be. It's no longer about what you want to be. You genuinely have to do what you can. You guys to get it. We all have to get it out the fucking mud right now. Genuinely. You gotta get it out the mud, bro. You don't have another option. You don't have another option, brother. Your only option is to find a way to bring in multiple streams of income, bro. It's funny because I feel like a few years ago, bro, I used to clown people that was like, oh, you know, or not clown people, but I used to look at people that were like, oh, I'm doing day trading. I'm doing my own business. Oh, I do sports. I used to think these people needed to go and get a real job. Or maybe not a few years ago, like a while back, bro. Like when I was graduating high school and shit, bro. And, you know, I realize now that that's just not the way. It's not the move. Because here's the thing. Even if you do have a real job, that shit is not cutting it. Right? Because they'll tell you, oh, go into the trades. It's so funny how, like, things switch up, right? Because when I was growing up, right, I know they was telling millennials, like, learn how to code. They was telling me, like,
try that
you
shit.
Go to university, you got to go to college. You have to go to college to get a degree. Now a degree means absolutely nothing. Coding doesn't mean shit because the whole IT tech, you know, world is fucking cooked. I mean, it's just as cooked as every other industry now. There is no real lucrative industry, really, besides, like, blue collar and, like, shit that requires years and years of school and putting yourself in years and years of debt. And so then it's like, what do we do, right? Oh, get into the trades. That shit still requires experience, right? And it's like, bro, these trades that are available are genuinely just like the worst possible. Like, welding. You want me to be a blacksmith or something, bro? Like, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck? But at the end.
And even that, in the trading thing, that I've seen some stuff. I looked at a video and they were saying like trading it's becoming overpopulated, because if everybody goes to trading, just like I said with the houses, if everybody's flipping a house, nobody's gonna make a profit. If everybody's trying to get a trading job, or get a job in the trades, there's gonna be more competition. Less people are gonna get hired. Then maybe the pay rate is gonna stay the same, because shit, it's too many. I mean, I can hire anybody at this point and stuff like that. Like, at least the companies that have the trades in them, I can hire anybody. Why would I just only hire you? Or why would I, try to pay you so much and I can just hire Billy and Bob, who's fucking begging for a job, because the other job markets are ass. But hopefully, I don't know, because like he said, he like welding. I don't want to do no welding shit. I done seen some women welding. From one of the videos I watched, is women out here welding and shit like that. I ain't saying women are, inferior to men, but if a woman can weld, I can weld. But they were saying like women are a little bit more like steady and creative with the shit, so they like, and patient, so they can kind of do that shit. So maybe that is a woman's, type of thing. Maybe.
Hey, dog, the shit is so bad that you genuinely just have to do what you can. I'm not even gonna cap to you, bro. Lie on your resume, bro. LARP on your resumes. LARP in your interviews. Just LARP.
I ain't gonna lie, that's what the last few jobs I had, that's what the fuck I did to get into these jobs. You gotta LARP. I ain't telling you to LARP, I'm telling you to lie, nothing, but hey, I'm just saying. Maybe a little 2 years of experience here. I did a little bit of this there, even though you've never done it. Maybe might get you in there. Just saying. It got me in. I ain't saying it will get you in. Just maybe. Don't be doing nothing stupid though, like signing up to be the fucking the CFO of a company, talking about you got 20 years of, no, don't, hold up now. Try to get the supervisor job first, buddy.
Genuinely just LARP, bro, because what else is there to do? What else is there to do? You feel me? But anyway, man, let me know what y'all think in the comment section.
Yeah, I don't know. Y'all tell me if there's any other solutions in the comment section, man. But if this is the first time seeing my face, like I said before, I'm lllucyd, lllucyd. I'm a Gen Z, man. We trying to make it out. We trying to figure it out and stuff like that. And if you Gen Z, man, I feel you. But also, if you Gen Z and you like these type of conversations and would like to see more, consider subscribing. And if you like this video, consider liking. So, like I said, I'm lllucyd, and I hope you come around and click on another video. Peace.